Welcome, seekers of the unknown, as we pull back the veil between the living and beyond. Unraveling questions that plague our minds, and oftentimes presenting the evidence that may prove them true. Let us take you on a journey where paranormal becomes normal, and where what is right behind you just might be echoes of the afterlife or something more. But fair warning, once you step into the supernatural with us, you might just stay haunted.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Stay Haunted.
Happy Monday.
Hello.
Hello.
Happy Monday to everybody in chat.
Happy something.
It's Monday. And may the 4th be with you.
Be with you. And don't forget, tomorrow is not only Taco Tuesday, it's Cinco de Mayo.
That's right, it is.
Yes.
So actually, yeah, I know, I forgot. Cinco de Mayo, May 4th. And then yesterday was what, Mr. Allgood?
May 3rd.
May 3rd.
National
National Paranormal Day.
National Paranormal Day. So it's the trifecta. Yesterday was the
Totally messed
day. So I'm like, Chris, I took you a bunch of shit on it and stuff.
Right? So everybody that's into the everybody that's into the paranormal, everybody that's into Star Wars, everybody that's into tequila and tacos, this is the trifecta week.
Heck of a week.
Right? I wonder if people for Cinco de Mayo started that or into paranormal started on Sunday drinking tequilas and whatnot, and are like completely by tomorrow they're shit faced.
Right. They're trying to get rid of their paranormal and Star Wars hangover on Tequila Tuesday on Cinco de Mayo is what they're trying to do.
That's right. Sure.
Look at Todd. He totally thought I was serious. That's funny.
I didn't know what it was either. Like it was Sunday.
Yeah. So
you guys did something exciting this weekend.
Actually for Sunday, well, kind of like a yin and yang kind of weekend.
I did something really off the wall. I handed Todd a pair of scissors and I said, just cut 2 inches off my hair. I can't take it anymore.
She trusted me with scissors to trim off dead ends.
I did.
Wow.
He didn't do too bad. He didn't do too bad. I mean,
Nice.
it's maybe
As
a little.
long as you guys have been married, I wouldn't trust him with scissors around your throat ever.
He was behind me.
That was all good.
And then I said, well, when my hair dries in the front, it's going to be longer. So then we had to.
So I had to come in and do a little tapering, a little.
did.
So I felt like
Edward Scissorhands.
Edward Scissorhands is the other. Who's the famous hairstylist? I know there's Vidal Sassoon. Yeah, I felt like Vidal Sassoon.
So I did that. That was crazy for me.
So that's the yang, I guess. A little bit of the yang. The yin was that we. Friday I was off.
I wasn't.
You weren't off.
Oh,
But
no,
we had
Friday was a
TJ
bad
needed
day.
his car kind of dropped off. He failed inspection, so we had to get that kind of taken care of. And then hello, Miss Jenny from 305.
Oh, I made empanadas too. They were the best empanadas ever.
I sent you the pictures of the empanadas, right? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you did.
Poor Jenny, we made her really hungry.
Pictures of empanadas to the guy on a diet. That's great. Appreciate that.
We sent it to Jenny and Mondo and Joy and Joey during their podcast last night. I'm like sending it to them, and they're like, Jenny's holding up to the phone. She's like, great, now I'm hungry.
True. And yes, I was thinking Audra's hair looks fabulous too.
It does. It's looking exquisite.
Yeah, I got about 3 inches cut off, some layers, and then my bangs, I'm letting them grow, so they were doing absolutely nothing.
I can do that next time I come out. I'll do all that for you, Miss Audrey.
You look fabulous.
Well, Jenny broke her diet too because she had to eat an empanada.
Sorry about that, Jenny. Sorry. Don't blame me.
Well, TJ said this morning, because he took one to work, and he's like, they were really good. I'm like,
They were
I know.
good.
I put the love in it. You got to cook with love.
Yeah. So Saturday.
Yeah, never mind.
It was with love. It was absolutely love. And we're going to make more, this weekend, you said, right? Not love. Empanada.
Wow. It took us 4 minutes to go off the rail. 4 minutes to go off the rail.
Look how red he is.
Todd just had a wait. Todd just had a very white moment on Stay Haunted, y'all.
That was not. That was
Wow. I have never seen Todd that red.
That's so cute.
Oh boy.
Oh, it's getting hot.
So
I was
we
gonna
had
say,
an
you're
exciting Saturday
Look at Carmella.
expo event. We saw.
Brings whole new meaning to Taco Tuesday, doesn't it?
So we went to White Hill on Saturday. Reel back in.
Oh, God.
Oh boy.
The rest of the show.
That
Sorry.
was
Sorry.
great. That was great. Oh, I made my glasses fall. Woo!
No, we did. We had a busy Saturday. We went to White Hill. We saw full moon ladies. Jesus. Man.
Oh, great. Now everything we say, she's going to connect to you. Do a little dance.
Look at me.
Bill and Mike, we apologize off stage. Sorry about this, but we haven't had one of these off the rails in a long time. So we did have White Hill Paracon Event Expo was awesome. You had Katrina Weidman there,
Wow.
Heather Taddy, Brian Cano, the Godfather of Paranormal, the man himself.
Yourself together here. What's wrong?
I
with you?
can't think. What else?
Johnny Zaffis.
Johnny Zaffis.
Johnny
Father.
Oh, we said hello. We saw Father. Who?
Bailey?
Yeah, Father Bob.
Father Bob.
Father Bob.
I was
Father Bob. He was good. We spent some time talking to him. And who else?
well, no, that was great though.
We
We saw
saw
Raul.
Raul.
We saw Bobby Gallo.
Bobby Gallo. Yes, Bobby Gallo did a great
Lauren.
talk on portals. We saw Lauren Hellickson. We booked her for the 29th of June because she's done school. So we finally got her locked in. And so it was a lot of networking this weekend. So we got a bunch more because I know we're booked out through the end of June.
Apparently other things.
So but yeah, we had a great weekend connecting with everybody. Kyle, Christine from White Hill, Friends of White Hill. So it was a great weekend. Frankie, the usual crew that we're very fortunate to see at events.
Yeah. Like fun.
Sounds fantastic. We would tell you what we did this weekend, but
yeah, now go ahead. Give a quick brief overview. Was there any love making?
I didn't say that.
Oh,
I
sorry.
Just said love.
Love. Sorry, love.
Oh,
Yeah.
Lord.
So how was your weekend, Chris and Audrey?
well, we did the happy hour, our normal happy hour every Friday. And then Saturday we did a pickup at Walmart.
Errands.
No, that was it.
That was it.
I was begging Audrey to get out of the house this weekend, and she just would not do it.
I was tired.
And then on Sunday, she decided she wanted a tree. So we went to Home Depot and got a tree.
Oh, I had to take the propane tank back, though.
Oh, yeah, because you're going to make this sound more exciting. We had to return a propane tank.
Well, it didn't
There
work.
goes the excitement.
It didn't work.
Yeah, what the heck? How did it not work?
Yeah, I think the valve.
It did. It was a brand new thing.
I think the valve was stuck, and I looked online about how to fix it, and it said start playing with this portion of it. And Chris doesn't mess with propane.
Nope.
It ate burned in 2003. I don't mess with propane.
Say, that's definitely not on your to-do list.
Take the bad one, good one. We're good. That was the just.
Yep.
Mr.
Hey,
Raul in the
So I'd love to expound on our weekend, but that was it.
That was it. No.
Good
Sounds like a
enough.
lovely weekend.
Oh, wait.
Hopefully the weather gets better and you can do some golfing.
Yes, I wanted to hit the driving range because I got my new clubs.
Windy,
But it was like
windy.
46 degrees on Saturday. And then yesterday, we had gusts of up to 50 to 60 miles an hour. I was afraid the damn ball would boomerang back at me and hit me in the forehead. So I didn't do that. So
Yeah. Don't want that to happen.
I'm trying to book a tea time for Mother's Day, but we'll see. Because Audra won't be here. She'll be with her mom and her sisters. So I might as well go play.
I was going to say, Audrey, you want to do that? You want to drive the golf cart. I get it. Me too.
No. I'll drive the golf cart eventually, but no, Sunday will be my two younger sisters, my mom and my aunt, and myself.
Nice.
Very nice.
And
Yeah.
I'll be by myself, so might as well go play golf.
Fun.
All right.
Clubs.
Well, we have not just one awesome guest, we have two awesome guests tonight.
You guys ask for cryptids. We bring you cryptids.
That's right.
Guys, tonight we have Mikell Connor. Mike is the owner of the Cryptids and Paranormal Productions and founder of New Jersey's annual Cryptids and Paranormal Conference. He has been a cryptid and paranormal enthusiast since 2005. He has also participated in dozens of independent BFRO, keep it clean, it's the Bigfoot Field Research Organization, sponsored expeditions in the Northeast from the White Mountains of New Hampshire all the way to the Pine Barrens of New Jersey. When not in the wild looking for evidence of cryptid activity, Mikell has taken part in numerous paranormal investigations in the area's infamous locations of intrigue. His most well-known statement, and I love this, all hoaxers will be hung, was made in the Andrew Callaghan's documentary Hunt for the Jersey Devil. Mikell has been the lead singer of the rock group Mikell's Plot, I hope I said that right, for the past 27 years. He is also an accomplished Class A chess player. Mikell often speaks at the New Jersey PA UFO Study Group, which meets every second Wednesday of the month at Hamilton Public Library and welcomes all interested parties. Guys, we also have Bill Visconti, a.k.a. Professor B, best known as Intrepid Explorer Professor B, right? He serves as the event organizer for the New Jersey Annual Cryptids and Paranormal Conference and is the core member of the Cryptids and Paranormal Productions, working closely with founder Mikell to bring large-scale paranormal events to life. When he's not wearing his hat, Professor B's signature hat, he also has many other hats outside the cryptic world. He brings 30 years of experience as an FAA air traffic controller, so he can explain to us why planes are hitting bread trucks. Manager for 17 years, he's a college professor, Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University and Atlantic Cape Community College. He credits those careers for hosting his observational, analytical, and research skills that underpin his work as a certified cryptid and paranormal investigator. Guys, you've met Professor B. Now meet Mikell Connor. Everybody, welcome Mike and Bill.
Hello, welcome.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you. Thank you very much for being
Thanks
here.
for
We
having
appreciate
us on.
you coming
Thank
back.
you.
Mike, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So,
Thanks for throwing those big words into your bio so Chris can stumble on it.
so just so you can see Chris saying when we make ourselves look stupid and stuff, he wasn't lying. You know. We haven't had one of those off the rails. It's been at least 3 or 4 months, easy.
Carmelo went the extra mile for you two.
That's right.
Definitely. All the love making talk. I love it.
I'm still blushing.
No funny here. Not so serious.
All right.
So Mike's new. Everybody's met Professor B. Mike, tell us, you're this rock singer, you're this band for 28 years. What in the hell pulled you into the cryptids? Can you hear us, Mike?
Mike, can you hear us?
Yes, can you hear me?
Okay.
We can.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so you play chess.
Go ahead.
You're in the rock band. What pulled you into the cryptids world?
Get ready for this big conference coming up. Saturday, June 6th at the Crown Plaza, Princeton's Conference Center in Plainsboro, New Jersey.
Right. So what?
115 vendors, I repeat again, 115 vendors. And we got some of the top speakers. It's going to be a great event. You know, if you Google Chiller Theater and you ask Chiller Theater or Monster Manor, how many vendors do you have? It says between 50 and 60 vendors. You know, and those are the big conventions. So 115, that's insane. You know, we had about maybe like 60 vendors last year, but 115, that's just insane. You know?
Right. So what pulled you into the cryptid fields, Mike? Because you're a chess player, as Chris mentioned, you're a chess player, you're a guitar player. So how the heck did you get pulled into the cryptids?
Oh, when I was a kid, I was always fascinated with Bigfoot. You know, one of my favorite movies was Creature from the Black Lake and, you know, stuff like that. But then, you know, the TV shows were on like Monster Quest, and you kind of like, were like, wow, this is really going on, and you're getting really interested and hooked on it. And then I started going out in 2005, trying to find stuff, found some cool possible hair, and sent it out to get analyzed and everything, and learned a lot. When you go out looking around for Bigfoot, you learn as you go along. It's not like nobody's an expert doing this,
Right.
but you learn every time you go out. And the one thing I learned is you never put a sample of a hair in a plastic dime bag. That's a no-no. You always put your sample in like a paper envelope or something like that. Because apparently the plastic does something to the sample. So
Oh, wow.
definitely don't want to do that. Yeah.
Huh. What? Because of the chemical makeup of the plastic would have some type of chemical reaction,
Supposedly.
supposedly when
Yeah.
that's interesting.
Yeah, if you ask anybody in forensics or anything like that will tell you the same thing. They always
and
put their
now that you're
samples.
mentioning that does kind of make sense. You think about on a crime scene, what are they taking in? Brown paper bags, right? At least
Right.
scene, right? They're not taking plastic bags in. So interesting.
And the one thing I learned out there is there's so many different kinds of animals and sounds, and it's like I'm hearing a new sound every time I'm out there. There's a new animal I'm learning about.
Right.
I heard a fisher cat for the first time, and I saw it, and I said, "Did somebody's ferret get loose?" I'm like, the thing was like, it kind of reminded me of a giant mongoose ferret looking animal, and it doesn't look like a cat at all, and it's creepy. So I went home and I did some research on it, and it said that they actually kill foxes and sometimes even kick the shit out of a coyote. So, they're mean animals.
I've been out in the woods. I've been out in the woods sports hunting enough for deer and for game for food and stuff. And I'll tell you, man, when it gets that twilight time, just before sunset, and you're out there and you hear some of those high pitched screams or wails, and you're like, "What the fuck was that?" Part of my French, and it's like, all right, I can't get out of the woods fast enough. So, have you ever had a moment like that, Mike?
No, I have actually. I was in the White Mountains with my friend, and I heard a rah, rah, rah. I'm like, what the hell is that? I'm looking around, and it was a fox.
Mm.
It was like rah, rah.
So, have you come to when you go out in the woods? Primarily, I guess Bigfoot is kind of typically what you go out looking for, as far as when you go do an investigation in the woods.
Yeah, that's what I go for.
Have you come to kind of learn the different sounds to when you do hear them, you're not as startled, or you can kind of put two and two together as to what that it is an actual an identifiable animal. I should say.
Well, in fact, I learned that when there's a there's a gray fox in New Jersey, Middlesex County has a lot of them. A gray fox actually they build their nests up in the trees, and when they make a noise like ah, right away, people like think it's the Jersey Devil up in the tree because of the sound. Um, but when you learn about animals like that, usually regular, the red foxes, they make their nests on the ground. So you kind of get used to, you're learning different things as you go along. You're learning what makes those noises, what kind of animal it is, how do they, where do they build their nests. You're learning everything as you go along. Okay. So what I did over the years is I learned all the different sounds of the coyotes, the foxes, owls. The first time I heard a barred owl, I thought it was a monkey. It was like pop. I thought it was a Sasquatch. The first time I heard a barred owl. They don't just go hoo hoo. They go hoo 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 hoo. You know.
Interesting.
And then they do like
And
something like. I'm sorry, I must have overlapped or something, huh? But
you're good.
But a barred owl. See, what's funny is I went on YouTube and I started really because I'm a singer, and sometimes I sing a cover song, and I kind of have to mimic the voice to get the cover right. So I'm in YouTube, I'm mimicking, and I'm like getting all these barred owl songs down, all these sounds down, and I'm kind of like in the middle of the woods doing different calls, and one barred owl will answer me back. So I do this call, which is a different kind of a call. Now I did that call, and instead of just hearing one barred owl, I had 30 barred owls. It sounded like a choir in the middle of the woods of barred owls.
Interesting.
So on one of my recent expeditions, I was playing around with the barred, because what happens is when you play around with the barred owls, you possibly could get a Sasquatch howling in between that. That's why you got to record everything. The same thing with a coyote. Coyote makes a sound. You kind of want to listen carefully to see if anything else is howling that's not a coyote or anything else. So you kind of that's how you have to pay attention. But when I heard this high pitched scream under the barred owls, I'm like, I didn't know what it was. So I took my recording and I put it through AI and asked AI what it was. And they said they're screech owls. So the screech owls make the calls under the barred owls. But if you've never heard a screech owl, it just sounds like a high pitch frequency going underneath the barred owls. And you're like, what is that? But I've had other wildlife experts, confirm it as well.
I got a quick question, Mike. So how many, I guess, what's the kind of, on your different expeditions and where different locations that you've gone to investigate Bigfoot sightings and stuff like that, what is kind of the most memorable locations you've gone to that you captured some type of definitive response that you can't explain, or that you can't explain as animal-like?
I have a recording that was recorded last year, and I took Bill as a guest with me on that one trip. We were with the BFRO last year, and he had a recording device, and he hit record when I did a call, and at first nothing responded. And then all of a sudden, you hear this howl like nobody knew what it was. I mean, it definitely wasn't a coyote, and it definitely wasn't a coy wolf. They have coy wolves in the pines as well. So you kind of once you cross those two off, and the fox is off, and the owl's off, now you got to say, okay, I know all those sounds. What am I hearing? And I've had wildlife experts listen to it, and they just say, I don't know what it is. Sorry, I can't tell you what it is.
Yeah.
So, that I'm not saying it's a Sasquatch, but it might be a
Right.
new animal of some sort.
Something that's unidentifiable to people that study wildlife naturists, that they're kind of baffled. So it makes sense. So
you wouldn't think much about the Pine Barrens as far as Bigfoot and everything, but years ago they did an episode of finding Bigfoot out in the Pine Barrens, and Cliff Barrickman, one of the stars, said it was the best Bigfoot vocalization he ever heard was in the Pine Barrens. Surprisingly.
What area, or was that? What was it? Kind of central, south, north, kind of?
I'm not sure. I don't know where they did the investigation. If it was in Wharton State Forest.
When I go on these trips with them, I promise I wouldn't tell them where it is.
That's fine.
The reason being is when you do a trip, you don't want a bunch of jokesters coming. Oh, let's go mess with these guys, and then they show up just to mess it up.
Right. I hear you. No, that's totally understandable. Completely. So Bill, real fast. So this is your second time back on the show in a couple weeks.
Yep.
Just tell our guests in chat that may have not been here for the first time that we had you on a couple weeks ago. Just tell them a little bit about yourself and what you do and how you got involved with the cryptids.
Sure. Let's actually go back to the beginning, because I don't know if I mentioned this last time, like how I kind of got on the road I'm on right now. But it's funny because I could actually pinpoint it to one date in time. I was about 12 years old, and I went to see a double feature. I don't even think we have those anymore, but it was Clash of the Titans and Raiders of the Lost Ark. And Clash of the Titans, I mean, I was already a fan of Ray Harryhausen's, amazing stop motion animation, Jason the Argonauts, Seventh Voyage of Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger. But Clash of the Titans, for me, between the Kraken, Calabos, Medusa, that inspired my love of monsters, which of course naturally kind of led into the whole cryptid path. And then of course Indiana Jones, I mean, that's the whole Professor B, just is the whole intrepid explorer. I mean, even though I am a professor, I didn't want to be this, stuffy, bookish professor, even though for years I was really behind the scenes researching. I mean, I can't tell you how many books on the subject, more so cryptid than paranormal, but I mean, I've read them both. I mean, probably hundreds of books. So I've researched over the years, but even as an undergrad, I studied anthropology, archaeology, English folklore, everything else. I just happened to fall into air traffic control right after I got out of school, which ended up like being my primary career. But this was always a hobby. I mean, look at my damn office. It's ridiculous, all the memorabilia. But so I was always a fan. And then a couple of years ago, I decided I wanted it to be more. I wanted to try to really get more, to become almost more of an expert. So I actually went back to school. I went back to, I mean, in a traditional college, you can't necessarily take this traditional coursework. So I went to a non-secular university called Thomas Francis University. And I studied parapsychology, cryptozoology, paranormal science, all of that. I actually, got my certifications as a certified cryptid investigator, certified paranormal investigator. Not that you need certifications in those things, but I did do the coursework. And then last year, I had reached out to Mike because the conference he was running last year, the same one, the Cryptids and Paranormal Conference, it's just a couple miles from my house. And I saw that he had all these amazing guests. So I reached out to him and said, hey, I'd like to volunteer. And I came on board, but I got very involved, so much so that within 6 months or something like that, I ended up being essentially like the main organizer. So like right now, I do all the logistics, the coordination, a lot of the digital creation, all that other stuff. So that's kind of the path that I'm on, and I know like I'll probably end up retiring from the FAA and I'll just be a professor from that point on. But last year I started doing the lecture circuit as well. So now I lecture about the Jersey Devil, and I've done some big conferences and stuff like that. It's exciting. So I'd like to continue on that path and see where it takes me. Mike does more the field work. I'm more library, nose in the books kind of thing.
So how do you? So answer me.
You got
this
to get
question.
out there and you got to do it. I don't worry about a bear or nothing like that. The good thing is about the Pine Barrens is it's flat, and you could be in your 70s or 80s and be able to walk through that without any problems. Like I wouldn't recommend doing the Appalachian Trail at a senior citizen age, because that's very tough. You'll be huffing and puffing in an hour.
So how do you guys connect the two? So you got the field work, and then you got.
I recommend actually do not go hiking without a couple bottles of water on you, because you actually can dehydrate pretty quick.
Huh. Interesting. So I actually have I don't know if we put this one up before. So before Chris and Audra moved up to Perrysburg, we went down with Raul and to visit Chris and Audra and do an investigation at the house they were at. And what Raul's talking about here is he was looking for his Bigfoot in the backyard of the Montgomery house where we were doing the investigation. And when Raul showed us, we were joking about it. We were like, holy shit. If you imagine like you're looking through the night vision goggles out back, and then I pictured think about Halloween and the Great Pumpkin Patch, when Snoopy comes riding. Imagine if you had a Bigfoot pop up in front of you, because it's super fucking clear, part of my language. I'm me and Chris were both holy fuck, you'd shit yourself.
Hey, I will walk through one of the
I'll tell you, one time I was sitting down near right by the woods, my chair was really close to the woods, and I saw something rise up like that, and it was a raccoon. That thing must have been almost 4 feet tall. I mean, I couldn't believe how tall this raccoon was. He got up on his hind legs, and he looked at me, and I says, at first I'm like, what the hell? Oh, it's a raccoon, but that's a big raccoon, He's probably looking for leftovers from the camping,
I was telling Todd, I said I can walk through these haunted locations by myself, hear screams, doors slam, voices. I can see apparitions. Doesn't bother me one bit. But if I'm looking through some night vision,
I don't know if it sound like the sound got cut off there or something.
Oh, that's funny. So how do you guys correlate? So you got Mike. That's
so you were asking me before what else got me into this, and why I was at the Carney Cottage and into the ghost stuff. I had a sighting in 2014 with my wife, and I told this story probably hundreds of times to different people, but it was real. And my wife confirmed it was real. So to me, having that extra person tell you she saw it too kind of makes you say, wow, I saw a real ghost,
Right.
So that kind of got me into the paranormal field. So I do both for fun, but I'm mainly into the looking for the Sasquatches and stuff. To me, that's more fun because I can possibly see something that could grab me and kill me,
Chris, what was your question?
So between the two of you guys, you get Bill with the book work and all the scientific portion of the cryptids, and then you got Mike that's constantly out in the field. How did the two?
I'm having a hard time hearing Chris.
I hear him fine.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm not hearing them, but
So how do you correlate the
looks like he's doing sign language, like
But that's funny.
Gotta
You
be
say
a
that.
connection. I
My
hear
mic,
perfect.
my mic wasn't working before, right, Chris? And you were joking about that. It's like, Todd, you're doing damn sign language. I can't hear you.
Yeah.
You may real
so
fast.
Bill, maybe you can repeat
Yeah.
this for me since Mike's having trouble hearing me.
Yeah.
How do you have the two of you both in
listen,
the crypto?
when you go out to the woods, you got to get these. You have to have these things on you.
Enough with the emergency underpants.
Save me some. Say those. Something happens, you got to be prepared.
You never can tell.
So how do the two of you work together, correlating field work to the academic portion of the cryptids?
Well, so Mike will go out into the field much more. I've only been out with him a few times, and the times I've gone with him has only been out to the Pine Barrens. Whereas, he'll go a bunch of other places with other investigators as well. But, the Pine Barrens, especially, like I enjoyed when we went last July, it was both a Bigfoot and Jersey Devil hunt, kind of, because I'm kind of more, even though I'm not really a believer per se in the Jersey Devil, I love the legend. I love the story. I just love to even be, out there, with all that history in the Pine Barrens and stuff like that.
Right.
So I don't know, even when we did that, like on the academic side, I put together like a case file, whatever, and put that out to everybody that was in, what was there, like a dozen of us that went, like, or something like that. There was about a dozen of us, I think, in the group, and there was a film crew with us and a few members of the BFRO, the Bigfoot Field Research Organization. So it was a decent sized group. So I put that out, so a little something to bring the academics into it too. And then of course we're out in the field, doing the normal field investigation work, that's kind of more Mike's world. I'm still more on like the research side.
Okay. So I have another quick question, because this is, like I said, it's not a topic that we typically cover when we do the podcast. So this is for both of you. When you've been out, Bill, the few times that you've been out, and obviously Mike, the times that you've been out, have you done tree knocking before, and have you gotten any audible responses back from potential Sasquatch?
So that investigation that we were on, especially the BFRO members, did tree knocking. There was a lot of just calls in general and everything else. Didn't get any responses back from that stuff. The time where Mike heard that vocalization back that we recorded, that was pretty interesting. But from those investigations, that's the only thing that I got out of it. But I will say this much. It's interesting because, like I just mentioned before, you talk about the Jersey Devil. The Jersey Devil itself, that the legend is clearly made up, but yet people are still seeing something, and that's what kind of fascinates me. But I know, even being out there, we saw. I guess it was a barred owl, Mike. I don't know the difference between a barred and a screech, but
I think it was a screech owl when you were on the Blue Hole trip.
Oh, it was? Okay, because this was very large, up in a tree, and you look at it, and it normally has black eyes, but its eyes were red. And these things have anywhere from a 3.5 to a 4 foot wingspan, and they're about 2.5 feet tall. Wow. So this thing is sitting up there on the branch, making these. They make a lot of different vocalizations, but some of the screeching and whatever that you heard, if you didn't know what you were seeing, because they are elusive, but they do habitate that area. And so I had taken some regular photos and some infrareds as well, And then when the thing just took off and flew overhead, I could see if someone just kind of saw something quickly like that, as large and as just silent, just flapping overhead. Who knows? It could be misidentified as something else. Maybe you wouldn't necessarily think it was an owl. And then right by the blue hole, what was really interesting as well, there was a photo I took that during the day it seemed a little innocuous, whatever, but at night it was pretty scary. It was a tree, malformed, deformed. I don't know if it was struck by lightning, but it looked like huge folded in wings of a bird or a bat or something, with a head and what looked like little horns, the branches coming out. So if you just saw that, especially in a dark environment, and maybe you heard some screeching or something like that, and you saw this thing out there, I can see why there might be a lot of misidentifications in that area, just because the nature of the area, it's spooky.
Right. You mix the energy of the area along with the mythical portion of it. And then
one time I want to share this. I want to share this with you guys. So a couple months before we did that trip, I went out with Eric Spinner. This is before I got my Jeep. I got stuck with a lowrider, and Eric Spinner had to tow me out of there. So I ended up parking somewhere, hopped in his truck. We went to check out the blue hole. Then he saw all these tracks. So we pull over, all kinds of hoof tracks and everything else. We were taking pictures of them. A lot of, looks like giant coyote tracks. I never seen that. It was either a dog or coyote, but we took a lot of pictures. So I did a presentation on the blue hole at this Iron Garden club that had a show in QXTs, and I was one of the guest speakers. So one of my band members came, and I had all the pictures of all the prints. She Google lenses it and says it came back as cryptid. I just thought that was crazy. I mean, your Google lens and prints look like coyote prints, but it's coming back as cryptid. I just thought that was interesting.
So, hey, Mike, real fast, and I know we're, we still have about 20 minutes left or so in the show. Could I just ask you, because Chris is still, I know you were having issues hearing Chris, and I don't want Chris getting stepped over and stuff like that. Could you just try and log out real fast? Because sometimes that helps when you log out and then maybe log back in, just to see if that fixes the audio, for you hearing Chris when he's talking.
Okay. How do I log out of here without, you just get out?
So down at the bottom of the phone, it should be, because you're on your phone, right? So there should be, and if you can't do it, it's no big deal. I was going to have, Chris was going to.
Remove from. Do I go remove from stage? Hit that one.
Yeah, he could probably do that, right, Chris?
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, hit that and then try and re-log in. Are we able to bring him back on, Chris?
There
we go, and then add him back in. Hopefully that'll work. Maybe.
he goes.
Yeah, he probably didn't realize he's stepping on you.
No big deal.
Yeah, it happens.
I kind of figured.
I regret that I wasn't able to be out at Whitehall with. A lot of those same people you mentioned were. They were at Alticon with me and some other people, friends and colleagues. But last weekend I was at the Jersey Devil Fable Fest.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool.
Yeah. No,
actually, there's two people in that world that are kind of like, for me in the Jersey Devil world, they're kind of like idols for me. One is this guy, Dr. Angus Gillespie. He taught American Studies at Rutgers University for like 52 years. He just retired.
Wow.
And he had done one of the first Jersey Devil Fable Fests, and he was back, 9-10 years later as a speaker again. So I got to meet him and talk to him, and he invited me on his TV show and stuff like that. And I was really, really psyched to get to finally meet him in person. And the other person was, there's a woman named Laura Luter, who she ran the Jersey Devil Hunters. It was a group. They must have been around for about 15, maybe 20 years. And they would go out, I mean, really do a lot of serious investigation out in the Pine Barrens. And in fact, she had collected, I believe, over 300 some odd eyewitness reports. Like, she really, really got into the weeds with it. But then the group disbanded, I guess, in about maybe 2016, 2017. And, but I had seen her on, you know, Monster Quest and YouTube and all these other things. And I'm there, you know, I wasn't speaking at the event this past weekend. I was just vending. And I see her walk by. I'm like, you're Laura Luter, whatever. And then we talked and took pictures with her. In fact, me, her, and Angus Gillespie all took pictures together. It was fantastic. It was like, you know, just seeing, you know, these people that, you know, like I said, I was a fan before I became Professor Fay, you know, so it was a lot of fun.
It's a real moment for you.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
All right, here we go, Chris and Audra.
Hello.
Is that better, Michael?
Yes, I can hear
There we
you.
go. All right.
I should have said it sooner.
No worries. No worries. It's all right. We've dealt with now I don't know what I want to ask. I do know what I want to ask. So I go back to Michael. You're out in the field and you identify the different screeches, the owls, the fox, and other stuff like that. Do you keep a database when you go out into the field of sounds? So when you pick up a sound, you can relate it to something and identify what's actually happening and eliminate it down to something that might be unexplainable.
Yes, I have a lot of recordings, and what I eventually want to do is kind of like edit something to kind of show people and just kind of show them the difference of the different sounds. So you'll have less people like saying it's the Jersey Devil or Bigfoot. You know, they'll be able to say, hey, it could be this animal or that animal. You know, because I think that's the problem. I think you're getting a lot of people like panicking and thinking it's something that. It's just a regular animal. You know?
Yeah, similar to what Bill was saying. You get out there, you get the energy, the location, all the legends behind it. People get out there and they're scared the minute they pull up, and then they see something funny like a misshapen tree in the dark or red glowing eyes of a 2-foot owl, right, flying up over above, and there's a misidentification on top of their fear, on top of what they believe, and then they start going, "Oh God, I just saw the Jersey Devil." I've got an idea for you guys, and you got to move quick because I'm saying this on live. So I've watched like Bigfoot documentaries and stuff like that out in the field. I've watched the Pine Barrens, the Jersey Devil. I've watched a lot of the stuff. I am a big cryptid believer. The thing that I struggle with the most, and I'll be honest with you guys, is the lack of evidence behind all the stuff that's happening. You have this database of animals, right, that you can identify their sounds, their screeches, like the fox and the owls. You guys need to develop a cryptid app that you can take out into the field, similar to an Oculus like we use in the paranormal, that immediately identifies that animal the minute the sound is heard.
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool. Because right now, anything that's collected, we're just comparing. Like Mike said, Mike has a series of recordings of various animals.
Right.
I do as well. I
That is
also
our
have.
animal, in case you hear it. Sorry.
I also have, from when I was in school, I have all of these recordings that are supposedly Sasquatch recordings, from the Sierra sounds, and there's other things that this samurai chatter, where it almost sounds like those old Japanese movies where a samurai's talking. You hear these crazy things. So even on one of our last investigations, I actually brought the recordings with me and blasted it through a JBL speaker instead of just doing the normal howls and stuff, just something different. And I don't know if that was in the same time after Mike, after you howled, that we got that response. If it was, I can't recall if it was in the same time. It might have been where we were playing that as well. But it's interesting when you hear some of these things. You're like, what the heck is that?
Right. And all of the things that I've watched, what I haven't seen yet is something that identifies those sounds in real time. So how awesome would that be? How big of a tool would that be to you out in the field as researchers to instantly have the identification pop up and tell you that's a screeching owl, that's a barn owl, that, you know what I mean? I have not seen that yet.
Right.
It's
I
kind
don't
of
know
like
if anything
as
like
a
that
horticulturist.
exists.
I'm a horticulturist as my background, and Carmela mentioned it. It's just almost like they have the Plant Snap app. You can take a picture of any plant or whatever and identify it. So it would be like the cryptid. The cryptid.
You know, I got to get my
plant
I got to get my
identification.
son on that, because my son goes to Cornell, but when he was he used to attend the Marine Academy of Science and Technology out by Sandy Hook, and he developed, as for his senior project, he and a friend, they developed a shell finder app where you could go, you pick up any shell on the beach, and same thing, you could basically scan it and it would tell you exactly which shell it was. I'm wondering if you could do that. If you fed the database all of those different sounds, you can go and pick that stuff up. I think you're onto something, Chris.
Yeah.
See?
I give it to you. You guys are cryptid guys.
Right? That's all.
The
You
only,
gotta put a patent on that thing. you know?
Right.
Exactly.
the only thing I ask is if you do it and you make millions, just name it All Good Cryptids.
All good cryptids. I like that.
Nice.
Now you guys know. Now you were talking about, Chris. You were talking about not having evidence. Now I spent hours and hours and hours in the library doing research, and the one thing that really was interesting was Bigfoot was in the 1975 Washington State Army Field Manual. Okay.
Really?
And yeah, and there's headlines. You can actually read all this on the internet, actually, and research it yourself. They had DNA evidence, and they said it was Bigfoot. And what was interesting about that, they put it in the Army Field Manual. In 1976, a Bigfoot investigator wanted to know more about the samples, and when he called to ask, they didn't know what happened to the samples. They disappeared. And that was 1976. And then 1977 came, it's a deer hair. Now, you could say it's
Area 51, I'll bet you.
some people say it's a conspiracy theory, but I don't think it's a conspiracy theory when something's documented as Bigfoot and then all of a sudden it's a deer hair 2 years later. Something just doesn't sound right, you know?
Right. Well, this is what I tell everybody with sometimes that I've been called a conspiracy theorist when it comes to government stuff. And I will tell you right now, every conspiracy theory has fact based in it that creates the conspiracy theory. So if you use critical thinking and you dig through some of the facts or non-facts, as they would say, you will find true evidence in those conspiracy theories that points in that direction. Otherwise, people wouldn't think it, right?
Here's something very interesting. So this is very interesting. Now, any listeners listening right now, take out your phone. I want you to ask Siri or Alexa a question and see what it tells you. Say, Alexa, Siri, what would happen if Bigfoot was proven to exist? And see what it says.
All right. I'm
Now,
gonna do that after the show.
What about ChatGPT?
when I did it, it said the logging industry would go under, and just like the spotted owl, and what the spotted owl did when they and it destroyed the logging industry. And the government, the one thing is, you got to understand that our economy relies on it, because Japan gets 100% of our paper. Okay. So if the logging industry crashes, our economy really is going to tank. You know, if you think it's struggling now, just wait until you see what happens if the logging industry goes down.
One more time, Mike. What Carmela's typing it in right now. So ask what was the question again? What would happen if
Bigfoot, what would happen if it was proven Bigfoot existed?
Okay.
Sorry, my typing isn't good.
I think Raul just put up there exactly where it's from.
Okay.
75 Washington bottom Relton Atlas.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Page 54, section 73. You Googled that, Raul. You didn't have that number.
Well, I will tell you this much. I've worked for the government for almost 35 years, and I hold a secret clearance. And I mean, granted, I wish I knew anything as juicy about like the big, Bigfoot and other stuff like that. But I mean, I know there's a lot that's not disclosed.
Oh, there's a ton.
Here we go. Carmela typed it. I'm going to read the response. It would instantly become protected. Governments would likely step in fast. Just like endangered species, Bigfoot would probably get legal protection to prevent hunting or habitat destruction. There might be restricted, a funky word or something, forest zones.
It was a funky word.
Especially in places like the Pacific Northwest where there are sightings are most common. And then there would be a massive media tourist boom, right? Documentaries, a bunch of other stuff it goes into. But that's interesting. Now, talking about the conspiracy kind of theory a little bit. So real fast, what's that?
That's it, really.
It would be what?
It would be a cool discovery. It would ripple across science, culture, and even law in some ways.
Man.
Well, and to add to that, the other problem that would happen is they would restrict any Bigfoot hunting.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So all the cryptid guys that are out there hunting, you'd be shut down in a heartbeat because they're trying to protect him, right?
Right.
All right, so here we go.
I wouldn't eat a Sasquatch burger. Something about that's gross.
Oh.
Yeah, right. It just doesn't sound right, right? So real fast, recently, I think it was beginning of April, there was a Class A sighting in Louisiana of a Sasquatch.
I'm sorry,
guys.
Gotta go
Well,
on.
Did you see about that? Either both
Yeah,
of you guys?
I heard about that. I actually shared that on my Facebook timeline.
Okay. Okay. So what do you think?
There's been
That was funny.
more sightings this year, I mean, than I think that I've ever heard of. I mean, the flapper sightings they had in Ohio, they had like, I think 8 or 9 or something like that in a short time. And they just had some, what was it, up in
Canada, was that?
yeah, something, or New Hampshire, something. Yeah. Another flap of like 8 or 9. Just weird. You don't usually hear anything like that. It's usually these little isolated reports.
Isolated, and you don't see that many kind of clustered.
Here's the problem. I'm not a super environmentalist by any means. Don't take me this in the wrong direction. Here's the problem. We are diminishing territory.
Mm.
You see it happen with like here in Ohio. We live in Perrysburg, Ohio. We're on the outskirts of Perrysburg, so there's farmland behind us, but there's still some homes behind us, and the main portion of Toledo is north of us, right? But we get herds of deer out here, and the deer population is just expounded to the point to where they're starting to not limit deer hunting anymore because the natural predators are being pushed away.
Yeah.
So if you think that only happens with the natural predators like wolves and the big cats and stuff like that go after the deer, you're going to see it with any primate type cryptid like Bigfoot. When their territory is becoming limited, you're going to see more sightings because we're planting concrete in areas that used to be their homes.
Yeah.
So the sightings are going to increase because they have less territory to hide in, right?
They would almost have to go on like a migration because, I mean, you think about the national parks, right? I mean, that
Right.
Alaska, there's tons of wilderness up in Canada, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So that's where I would think they would unfortunately get pushed to.
They don't want to be that cold either, though.
Yeah, right. No, I don't doubt it. So, all right, I got one more kind of government conspiracy theory. I'm sure I would imagine you all saw it. Multiple earthquakes in Area 51. Thoughts? Share?
I just heard that too.
The area 51 is something that, I'm 50-50 with. I don't know. I think maybe they moved it somewhere else. I think as soon as people started coming around trying to, they probably, let's move our secret location somewhere else. And I think that's
they did disclose that a few years back where they moved. I can't remember what the area was called now, but they did move some of the stuff from Area 51 out. But if you look at the scientific stuff that's going on, we're actually finding ridges in plates that extend out now because of the degradation of the earth and stuff like that some of these plates are extending out. So some of the minor earthquakes that you're seeing in areas that we've never seen them before is caused by minor cracks that extend out from the tectonic plates and like the San Andreas Fault and stuff like that. So it can be explained away because of earthbound situations and what's causing the shift in the Earth's core and some of the tectonic plates and some of the cracks. But at the same time, when you correlate it to a place like Area 51, the first thing everybody jumps to is, hey, it's Area 51. They shouldn't be having earthquakes there. There's probably a natural explanation to it, which some of those cracks and some of those off of some of those faults lean towards into the Nevada area. And guys, if the ground's that dry for that long, eventually there's going to be some cracks. And when you have cracks like that, some of the shifts travel.
Yeah.
But at the same time, is it coincidence? Is it not coincidence? You dig so far in the ground, we don't know how deep that.
But I think you're right. That sounds more like a natural occurrence, more so
Right.
than paranormal to me, anyway.
Right.
So I don't know. I can't remember when I was on with you guys last time if I shared my UFO story.
Not yet.
You didn't, and
You said you were.
you said you were going to, so this would be a good time
All right,
to
so
share.
Perfect time.
let me share the UFO story because not a lot of people know about this one. So as I mentioned before, I'm an air traffic controller. I've been an air traffic controller for 35 years. I've worked at like Newark, Philly, but I began my career at this big facility out in Long Island where we controlled the Atlantic Ocean, flights to, Europe, the Caribbean, South America, Africa, Bermuda. So the area that extends out that way. So this isn't working in a tower. This is working in a big building, no windows, sitting in front of these radar scopes, which are kind of like the old video games we used to play, like, Pac-Man, whatever. You're looking at a glass display and then shows your airspace map and everything else. So at this night, this is about 1995, and I was a relatively new controller, and I'm working a midnight shift. It's like 3 a.m. There's absolutely no traffic. There's no scheduled air service. There's not even cargo carriers at that time of the night. Usually it's either late at night or early in the morning. 3 a.m, there's nothing. So this area going out southeast of Kennedy and Newark Airport, the radar extends a couple hundred miles out. So this is the area just north of the Bermuda Triangle. So, like I said, 3 a.m, there's absolutely nothing going on. And then a plane calls me up. So this plane was actually what they call a ferry flight. So no passengers on board, just 2 pilots. They were bringing a plane back from San Juan, Puerto Rico to Newark Airport, just ferrying it back. And they call me up and say, I'll call the plane American 120. It's not really what it was. But he called me up and said, hey, New York, American 120, we're with you. Do you have anybody else out here tonight? And I looked at my radar scope and nothing, just the one target coming up on my scope that showed that plane's call sign and altitude and speed. And I replied back, American 120, New York, negative. You're the only one on my display. Well, why do you ask? And the pilot came back and said, well, there's something out here. And you could hear the trepidation in his voice. And for like the next 2 minutes or so, the pilot and the co-pilot, captain and the co-pilot, they described to me what they saw. And they said it was smaller than, they were flying a 737. They said it was about half the size of their plane, their large plane. They said it was oblong shaped. It was illuminated, but they didn't see any lights. And they said it moved in a way that an aircraft cannot move. Rapid bursts of speed, horizontally, vertically, even diagonally. And then after about 2 minutes, the plane just shot out of sight at what they described as an impossible speed. So I said to the pilots, do you want to file a report? And they were like, nah, no way. I mean, they would have been subjected to drug and alcohol testing. They would have been, their credibility would have been questioned.
Right?
Yeah. So they didn't say anything. I didn't say anything. And until I started like lecturing and stuff like that, I've never shared this story.
Yeah.
Like nobody, I don't even know if my family knows about this story, but it was an interesting one. So the thing is, on like the, you know, academic side and stuff like that, I try to always look at things two ways. I don't naturally jump to the paranormal, but even though I'm still a believer. So, you know, did these guys actually see something extraterrestrial or interdimensional or something that came up out of the depths of the ocean or whatever? Maybe. But, and I had to make sure that this, what I was sharing with this next part wasn't classified or whatever, but it's not. You could look it up online.
Right.
Out over the
And that's the
ocean.
thing, you know, with pilots, you know, they're respectable. You know, they're professionals. They're handling aircraft, whether it's commercial or Air Force, as we've seen recently, a bunch of you know, Air Force pilots that have come forth and talked about visual sightings. And stuff.
Especially like in Alaska.
They're highly trained professionals and stuff. So it's, you know, but it's hard to discredit them, in my opinion.
So when I do talk about this stuff, I mean, those types of sightings where it could be something truly paranormal, something that we don't understand, it definitely could be. But when I try to rationalize it, I try to put another spin on it as far as what could be a logical explanation as well. So the thing is, when you go out over the ocean, like if you Googled and you looked up an airspace map out over the ocean, you'd see these huge blocks of airspace called warning areas that the military uses for training, you know, training, testing, area refueling, all this other stuff. Now, granted, the military wouldn't be going out there at like, you know, this hour of the morning or whatever. But the thing is, 30 some odd years ago, we had stealth aircraft. You guys have probably heard of the stealth bomber, the B-2, all that, where, you know, that the fuselage and everything has all these little dents and dimples and everything else to deflect the radar. 30 years ago, we also had drone technology. We had unmanned aircraft. Now, granted, we didn't have anything advanced as what these pilots saw, or did we? I mean, if the U.S. military wanted to test something with stealth technology that New York air traffic could not see, and there was not supposed to be any any scheduled flights at all in that area, what better place to test top secret technology than out over the ocean like that? Mm-hmm. So it's just as plausible as extraterrestrial or interdimensional beings or something like that.
Wow.
It's a big area, believe you know. There's a lot of stuff out there. You know?
Yeah. So that's my UFO story.
That's fantastic.
Now, Bill, I got a question for Bill, actually. Bill, did you ever see the footage I got on my YouTube channel of a possible UAP? Since you have experience, maybe you could check it out and let me know your opinion on it.
Yeah, I'll take a look. I haven't seen that though, but I'll try to take a look.
I had people from MUFON check it out, and they're like, "Wow, that's really interesting. It's definitely not a plane." It was really cool. Definitely check that out, because I was with another paranormal investigator, and he even said it.
I'll take a look. That's, you know, kind of like my forte as well.
So, but Chris, I agree. You know, there's a lot of conspiracy theories that I don't laugh at.
Well, there is, and Bill just brought up a very fantastic one, because I mean, I hate to bring up conspiracy theories because people are always. I'm a super critical thinker. There's always. So if you watch, Audrey and I have talked about this for hours, right? If you watch some of the movies that come out, Armageddon. What was the one with God? I can't remember the name of it. Where they talked about underwater UFOs, right?
The Abyss.
The Abyss was one of them. There was another one that came out at the same time where they went all the way down and the one guy dove down deeper than he was supposed to and ended up landing on top of a ship that ended up surfacing. Right.
That was wasn't that Leviathan or something? Or?
To that effect. Yeah. Something like that. If you look at some of the movies that come out of Hollywood, some of the good ones, not the ones that are coming out lately, but if you look at some of the older ones that were fantastic, that touched base on some of these things, some of that information is coming out now.
Yeah.
And then you touch base on what Bill just said about the technology testing in those secure areas. Guys, you got to stop and remember China and Japan are 20 to 30 years ahead of technology compared to the United States that we know of. Right?
We went through their missile defenses pretty easily, though, in Venezuela.
Yeah. But, and to go back to conspiracy theories, World War II was World War II started because of the attack on Pearl Harbor. Not true. You go to Pearl Harbor, and World War II started in the Philippines, and it was over oil. Right? Because the battle started in the Philippines. We got attacked in Pearl Harbor because of what we started in the Philippines. There's always deeper reasons behind what happens, right?
Mm-hmm.
So call it conspiracy theory, but every conspiracy theory, every movie, everything that comes out, there's a small bit of truth in there. And all we got to do is dig a little bit deeper and start critically thinking about that. And that's what bothers me about the world today. People take things as face value.
Yeah.
Dig deeper, look deeper into it, get out there, do the research, right? I'm not ending the show yet, so don't.
You watch Contagion. The first time I watched Contagion, and then COVID came out. You're like, wow, that came true, you know.
Or War Games in the 80s. Do you want to
War
play
games, right?
Right?
Let's play a nice game of chess.
You know,
Right.
Ron just mentioned here about bother anyone that they shifted the moniker from UFO to UAP. You know, I will say this much. I don't know why they made the change, but that change, that UAP now is in all like the air traffic control glossary and everything. It was never in there before. It's interesting that stuff was now added.
Well, it's added now to the public documents.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
So Raul's, he's saying he's kind of agreeing with Ron to kind of diminish the sightings. Weather conditions. Yep. I mean, I'm sure there's a reason why they switched it.
Yeah. I mean, right. Just lumping it under anomalous phenomena. Yeah. I mean, it really does bring ambiguity into the whole thing.
Well, and I learned when I was the 10 years that I spent within the law enforcement portion of the industry that I did on the side is there's branches to every tree. And the tree with the most leaves is usually the one that holds the most truth. So follow that branch.
Mm.
Yeah.
Good analogy.
Yep.
Very good, Mr. Allgood.
All right, guys.
Chris, did you go to the Salt Fork over the weekend?
No,
I was there a couple
house.
No, I did it. I went out with my friend. He's a primatologist, Esteban Sarmiento, and Sonia Hortzman, some people out there. They took me out. The first time I went there, they wanted to take me to this cave. So we went into the woods and I did a howl, and every animal just went silent. The crickets, frogs, just quiet, nothing. And then I said, Esteban, you hear that? And he was already in the woods looking around because that was really bizarre. The police show up. Okay. What are you guys doing? I said, you guys are looking for Bigfoot, aren't you? I said, yeah, we were. And he goes, all right, just don't go by that cave. All right. Just, it's okay, but just don't go by that cave. The cop is so cool. It's like, I don't want to go by that cave now. We were planning on going there. A lot of people got hurt out there. I heard it's dangerous, but I just thought like when the animals got quiet, because we went to another location that same night and I did the same howl, and all the animals were, they just ignored me and kept going. So when I did that in that location, everything went silent. I'm like, wow, is my call that good? I scared him because the other
about it,
location didn't nothing paid attention.
when a predator or something comes in and listen, I've been out in the woods enough when you get that dead sound here, you hear a twig snap or something like that, and
It's like,
it goes quiet. It's like everything freezes. It goes. So I know what that dead silence sound like. So I mean, there's hey, could have been some.
But I
some
just
type
thought
of
it was
creature.
interesting that
Definitely.
in that location. It went dead silent. Then we went to another location, and they just ignored me. So,
They may have had experiences there that have been genetically through generations, that could, hey, when they hear that noise, they know to, hey, be quiet.
right.
So,
Well, they hear something out of the ordinary. It's a nature's reaction to a what the fuck moment, right? It's the best way I can describe it. It's like, whoa, that's not a normal sound. What the fuck was that? Right? So maybe that's the reaction you were getting from the animals. It was like, whoa, that's not normal.
what were you going to say?
Notice how when your kids get really quiet, you start to panic.
But that's a whole different scenario.
But still, you panic. When you're
Right?
Same sort of thing.
Yeah,
All been there.
Mhm.
absolutely.
All right, Bill and Mike, it's been fantastic having you guys on. It's been a fantastic conversation. We have reached the end. I do not want to leave without you guys promoting what's coming up.
Yeah.
Sure. So, I did want to mention that. So on June 6th, Saturday, June 6th, thank you very much for putting that up. New Jersey's 4th annual Cryptids and Paranormal Conference. It's at the Crown Plaza Princeton Hotel and Conference Center in Plainsboro, New Jersey. Right now, you guys are actually the first to publicly hear this, but we started a pre-Memorial Day sale. So our 2-for-1 ticket sale, which has not been active since Black Friday and has not even been advertised yet, is active now. The code that I gave you guys, Stay Haunted, for $5 off, even though it's 2-for-1, you could still use that code for an additional $5 off. It basically drops it to $40, gets you 2 tickets, and that includes all taxes and fees. That's the lowest price that we've offered it ever. And the Stay Haunted promo code is also good for $5 off the VIP seating. And then I'm going to give you 2 other codes that are not on the website. If you go to cryptidsparanormal.com, that's where you can buy the tickets, and or just look us up online.
And we're blasting it out there for you. So
promoting it every day. But there are 2 pre-Memorial Day codes that are out there as well that are sick codes. One is MEMDAY, EMEM, all caps, MEMDAY 20, and it's $20 off. So like the 2-for-1 is for, you have to buy 2 tickets, but the MEMDAY 20 gets you $20 off a single ticket, or $20 off the already discounted event ticket VIP luncheon combo, where you can mingle and dine with the celebrities and stuff like that for the buffet lunch, and you get the event ticket, which has all the lectures, the gallery reading, everything. That previously was like $120, $130. It was discounted to $99. Now you can get $20 more off that, so it's $79. That's the lowest we've offered that. Like I said, $20 off the single event ticket. And there's another code, MEMDAY, MEMDAY 10. And that's $10 off. If you just, let's say you were coming in just general admission and you wanted to do the lunch, you can get $10 off. Or the VIP seating, which is normally $25, you can get $10 off. So those codes, like I said, are not even advertised. They're on the website, but they're not advertised. So if you if you go to cryptidsparanormal.com, which takes you to the Eventbrite link, or just if you navigate and get to the Eventbrite link directly, then you can use those codes: MEMDAY20, MEMDAY10. You can use Stay Haunted, or just do the 2-for-1. So a lot of great sales out there. We want everybody in the cryptid and paranormal community.
Yeah, 115 vendors. 115 vendors. That's insane.
Yeah, it's crazy. We have like 25 or 26 special guests. Yeah, this not even all of them. We have a ton of special guests. We have, like I said, like 115 vendors. There's psychics, podcasters, artists, authors, the gallery reading. There's a Best in Boo costume contest. The VIP lunch.
Best in what? Say that again.
Best in Boo.
I don't want to say what
Best in Boo.
We don't want to end the show like we started it.
Get your tickets. Get your tickets now, because the day of the event, everything's going back to full price. So get your tickets now.
Yeah.
It's a great event. We've been there. We've been there the past couple of years, and it really is a great event. Since this size, you're supersizing it, so to speak. Yeah. I'm sure it's going to be amazing.
I could be wrong about this, but I think this may be one of the biggest events in the Northeast, if not the country, as far as how many guests and everything we have. I don't know of another event of its kind that has.
I have not seen one. No, not with that many. No.
So we definitely leveled up, and we want everybody to come and enjoy it. So it should be great.
You support us, and we're going to make it better next year. That's the whole key. Keep the cryptids and paranormal community strong. And I love this. I love going to this stuff before I started this. And when I didn't see nothing in New Jersey, that's when I really wanted to do something like this. Now they're starting to sprout up a little more, but we're just going to keep making it grow every year, and it's something I really enjoy. And that's one of the reasons why I did it. I didn't want to see New Jersey without a cryptid paranormal event, because it's either,
And guys, in all honesty, whether you're watching this live or you watch it on the replay, we usually get more viewers on the replays. So whether you're watching it on the replay off the YouTube channel on Stay Haunted Paranormal, little plug for us too, guys. Seriously, you've seen Todd and Carmela in multiple locations on the East Coast. We would attend more events if we could, if we lived in that area. We don't, but guys, we have been to multiple Paracons. We have been to Gettysburg Bash. We're going down to the Ohio State Reformatory in a couple weeks. Guys, you will not find an event with this much traffic. Yep. If you can find paranormal equipment there. You can find anything you want on cryptids there. You can network. You can meet up with your friends. You can talk to Bill. You can talk to Mike. You can get any information that you want at this event. This event is monstrous for the East Coast, guys. Yep. Make sure you go out there. I posted those. Good
codes.
God.
Promo codes?
The codes. All three of the codes in the chat. I posted the paranormal cryptids or the cryptidsparanormal.com chat in the chat. Go buy your tickets now. Don't wait to go to the door and pay full price, guys.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Not the two codes that Bill just gave you. Stay haunted.
For an extra $5.
You don't see any other fucking podcast with a promo code for this event, y'all.
True.
So really quick again, Bill and Mike, promo the hell out of this event. This event is huge. It's a great place for paranormal. It's a great place for cryptids. And with that kind of attendance and that kind of vendors and the amount of vendors and the amount of guests that you have, the all-star guests that you have, it's just phenomenal. So go ahead and post. No shame, guys. Don't hold anything back. Go ahead and promo it again.
Oh yeah, every day we'll be slamming it from next 4 weeks.
Yep.
Hey, I'm having a good time creating different things. I'm making a new flyer every day. It's a lot of fun, and a lot of people don't like the AI thing, but hey, I think it's fun making up different monsters.
I used the last one that you did was with you rock singing and exploding in the last promo that I put out for you guys.
That one I made.
Yeah. See, he's having fun with it too. It's not just me, you know.
Yeah.
But no, I
You
try to
might-
get different
a lot of people
content every post. That's the key. I'm not trying to bore nobody, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
This
And
conference
Mike-
has so much to offer. Yeah.
Mike told us before the show that his band will come out and perform in banana hammocks if they get.
Oh my God.
Look at Mike's face. Mike's like, shut up.
Well, I just, you know, after I saw this cheesy horror movie with Alice Cooper in it, and I saw Bigfoot just come and grab him and eat him. He just grabbed Alice Cooper and just swallowed him. I'm like, oh shit, I hope that doesn't happen when my band plays in the woods, you know?
I got a quick one. I know this is kind of ties in a little horror movie or whatever. So the movie Swamp Thing, if Swamp Thing creature was real, would that fall under as a cryptid, do you think?
Yes, it would.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. So basically, a cryptid is any, and not just an undiscovered animal. There's tens of thousands of undiscovered animals. It's one that's been reported, but just not recognized by science. And Swamp Thing would fall under that.
What about like something that
just-
was made by science? That's the question.
Well, yeah,
Technically, Swamp Thing was.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause that was a chemical.
But anyway,
accident.
Right.
I just want to also give a little plug to, like, even though we're Cryptids and Paranormal, there's a big portion of the people that come to our event that are also support horror. Our associates in I Heart Horror, we work on their events, they work on ours and everything. In fact, they had at their I Heart Horror event, Mike, they had Swamp Thing there, right? They had They had
a Toxic Avenger guy there. They had
oh yeah, no, it was Toxic Avenger.
Frankenhooker.
It
They had a lot of
Toxic
people there.
Avenger. Not Swamp Thing.
But you know, I'm going to be speaking. I'm actually going to be speaking at one of their events on the 16th.
March 16th.
Yeah, at
Another I Heart Horror
at the
event.
VFW on Journeyman Road across from Starland. I'm going to be
Right across from
talking.
Starland
So
Horror.
I'll be telling people about Bigfoot.
We will
Are you
be
going to
there
that?
also. And Chris reached out to us, and it's kind of be like our first invite to do a speaking. So this is kind of breaking news, you know. So we
Awesome.
All right.
we can talk about a couple
Yeah.
locations. So, yeah,
I'm so
Chris reached out
disappointed
to
I'm
us.
not going to be able to. I have my son is the sponsor for confirmation that day, my nephew's confirmation. So I can't attend that event. Otherwise, I would be there speaking too. But I saw this actually a great lineup that's going to be there. So that's fantastic. They got a lot of good people. That's the ice. I always get confused with the name. It's the
ice cream
I
and
Heart
hot
Horror
rods and-
Hot Rod and Ice Cream Monster Jamboree. Right? I think I got it.
It's run by the Rotary Club. So
Yeah,
if you have a
Rotary
classic
Club.
car, if you have a classic car you want to show off, or you
Yeah.
just want to see all the cool vendors, you definitely don't want to miss it. It's for a good
It'll be a
cause.
good time. Right,
It's for the
a good-
veterans, man. You got to love the people that
it's
serve
free-
for this
it's free.
country. You know?
It's donation. It's a free
You know?
event. It's charity for veterans, and
Yeah.
it's free. So they're just asking for donation. So
I like what Mary Beth said.
what Frank and what?
Frankenhooker.
Frankenhooker.
You take a bunch of dead hookers, they sew them together. One hooker.
Yep.
They had the guy from the Clerks there one year too at one of their events. Brian.
Halloran.
Yeah, they had him there.
Yeah.
So.
It's
All right,
awesome.
guys. It's been wonderful having you guys on. We will promote the hell out of the event. We'll share it as much as we possibly can before it starts. We'll put out the promo codes, make sure that gets out there for you guys. And thank you so much, guys, for being on. I appreciate it, Mike. Nice meeting you, Mike. Nice seeing you again, Bill. It's fantastic. Can't wait to meet you guys in person. Eventually, and I will make it out there.
It was great hanging out with you guys again. I look forward to seeing you. Well, Chris and Audrey, I don't know when you'll make your way out to our neck of the woods,
Yeah,
but
you never know.
yeah, it'll be great to meet
Well,
you
Chris
guys.
will be out here for work, but Chris will be out here
Yeah,
tomorrow.
I come out there for work all the time. I just don't have time to do anything else, unfortunately.
Extend your
But it's
trip.
been fantastic having you guys on. Thank you so much, guys. Remember, tune in next week to Stay Haunted, guys. But for tonight, remember, chase the cryptids, catch the evidence, prove what you can prove, and whether it's conspiracy theory or not, there's truth in every one of it, right? And when it comes to aliens, guys, you've heard me say this before. I'm going to say it again. There are intelligent beings out there other than what exists on our earth. And for us to think that we are the most intelligent is pure arrogance, because we're really not all that smart. All right, guys. Have a good night.
Have a good
Stay-
night. Thanks.
See you later,
Good night.
guys. Thank you for having us.